I've always loved art, when I was basically trying to survive the streets, one of the biggest inspiration for me was like graffiti, the arts on the walls, and anything that has to do with urban art, to me it's one of the most elaborate piece of the elements of hip hop, I love hip hop music. I grew up in hip hop music. I grew up in an environment where being an MC is a goal for most young men, right? I have a lot of friends who became disc jockeys, like real DJs and all that. Friends who were b-boys and everything. So, well, I can't do any of that. So I did the posters. I did the posters. I did the I did all the flyers and everything, and people loved it. And then, I started my clothing line, and that thing, to me, that is that is my contribution to hip hop. I wanted to repay hip hop back for saving my life, for getting me out on the streets. My shirts are not just it's the box, and everything like that. What my goal for my shirt really is for my art to speak to people, for my art to wake up the conscious mind of people, maybe spark an interest in people, It's so important to me to be able to affect people's lives and to be able to share knowledge that you grew up with, because the true treasure that nobody can steal from you or rob you from is knowledge, And I'm not just saying like knowledge through books. I'm saying the knowledge that you pick from the street, being streetwise, knowledge you learn from dealing with people. That's so important, But if you learn that and you do not share it to people, then you're misdoing the world, a big contribution that you could have done, My mistakes, I had to face them. I had to get out of them. And honestly, some of my mistakes, I would never wish to my enemy, So if I could share my story, make an art design to trigger or show them, how negative things can be in the wrong hands, then I did my part, To me, art is my vessel for my purpose of life,
Have you had any fears along the way?
Fears of what? Sorry, again.
Well, as far as like stepping out as an artist or as a business person or any of these types of things that you take an initiative on.
Yeah. I always get nervous every time I start a new project, right? I've been promoting shows for years and everything, and my business partner Dom and even Shy Boogie, Doc Proto knows the pressure of the last 48, 24 hours before the show, right? Things go crazy. Even though we planned it like 3 months, been promoting it for 6 weeks, the last 48 hours before the show is always nerve-wracking because you have all the elements. Or what's the weather going to be? Are there other shows that's going to be more popping? Are people going to show up? Is the cover too high? Are the MCs ready? Are they going to put on the show? Did the bands rehearse? Vital points like that are so important. And sometimes you just have no control. And my whole life, that's what I've been wanting to do, So I put myself on a really, really high pedestal because everything I do, I evaluate, pick up my weak points, pick up my strong points, keep the strong ones, and learn from my weak points, and then do better the next time, That's why when you see my shows, they progress. They're not, okay, it's drips and beats, okay, that's glow, okay, it's doing the same thing for a year or two and everything like that. You know, a human mind, the imagination, the creativity of a human mind, it should be something that everyone explores, you know. And so when I do my art, when I do my clothing line, and when I do my shows, I want it to be different from the last one. I want it to be better than the last 5 months. So yeah, that's nerve-wracking because there's that pressure, you know. It's not the pressure that, again, you know, are people gonna like me after that, but it's the pressure of, did I give them the art that they deserve? When they pay $3, $5 on the cover for my show, did I give them the entertainment experience that they came for? Did I give them entertainment that they never had from other people? And that's, you know, that's a big factor, you know.
Now, have you had anyone pointing the way for you?
Pulling away as far as, you know, I mean, we did work with a lot of people before. It's hard, you know, because a lot of people that does this get frustrated because...
Oh, I'm sorry. The question is pointing the way. I said it real quick.
Oh, okay. I
I'm
thought you
sorry.
said pulling away.
I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, good.
Pointing the way, like mentoring me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
I mean, pointing the way, I think, you know, obviously being in the streets, when I was growing up, there were the OGs and, you know, there were the elderlies and everything, you know. I mean, even my grandfather, you know, he didn't really know most of what I did, but, you know, he gave me some wisdom words of, you know, saying how to make decisions for yourself sometimes. Sometimes you have 3 days to decide to make a decision, sometimes you have 3 seconds. And it's just a matter of putting everything in your mind like a filing cabinet, right? From A to Z. From the most important thing to the least important thing. And that's how you do it. And you have to be able to decide. Sometimes you have to make the decisions that's not really what you want, but it's the right thing to do. And click, right? And then that's it. Everything after that is the reaction to what you decided on. And to be honest, the people that basically mentored me are people that I worked with, are people that I helped, you know. There are people that I helped that's turned their back on me, you know. There's people that I gave, bent over backwards and gave everything I had and couldn't even call me when I was in the hospital, right? So really, the people that I learned lessons from are the one that's pointing me. It's what molded me to what I am now. I always joke around to people that, you know, I'm probably the coldest person you know. You know, I tell them, you know, say I would like to wear all black because it matches my soul. But it's because of what I've been through. It's because of the people that I helped, you know, has turned me into this tough, you know, like a tough guy, a tougher outer, you know, so I can't get hurt again, so I can help other people. I could care less about my personal feelings, but what's important for me is to be able to believe that there are still good people out there that might need help, you know. That's what it is, you know.
Now, when did you know you had been accepted or feel that you had been accepted in what you're doing at this level?
Well, here's the crazy part, you know. I know a lot of people, and I told you that I used to work with a lot of people, and a lot of them don't work with us anymore. It's because you're like the unsung heroes, you know. You're like the ones in the back burner when you do this, you know. They see the action, you know, they're happy with what you're doing and everything, but they could really care less about you sometimes, you know, about your personal life or anything. There's only a couple of people that I want to accept me, you know. It's my business partners, you know, my friend, you know, the woman in my life, you know, and God, you know. That's who I want to accept, you know, because when you grow up in the streets, on the end of the day, you don't really have anybody. Everybody got to remember that there is no queen size coffin, right? We all came in here, and except for twins, right, or whatever. But even twins come out, come to this world one at a time. So we all came here alone. Then we live our life, make our mistakes. We love, get hurt, right? Do better, and then we die. When you die, you're all alone. That's why they make coffins only for one person. You came alone, you're gonna leave alone. It's what you do in between this and how you affect people's life, that matters. So acceptance is not big for me, but accept my art, learn from what I do, be inspired of helping people, being loyal to people, committing yourself to your dreams, to your aspirations, and unconditional love. I would want you to accept that. Forget Jon Box. Forget, oh, I like him because he does this. I don't care if you like me. That doesn't make a difference to me. Matter of fact, a lot of people don't know, even though I'm a promoter, I'm antisocial. I actually do not like being in big spaces. Ask Perkins and Peachtree, they always just sit me on the back. I don't even, and when I'm there, they don't even sit people around me. I'm that weird, but it's because I've always wanted my own space. But then the difference is I always want to affect people too. I always want to help people. It's a gift and a curse having a big heart, You have a big heart, you make a difference in people's life, but you also have a big heart where people would take advantage of you. That's what it is. So I don't want acceptance, but I want people to accept that it's okay to give people unconditional love. That caring for someone randomly is okay. I would want them to accept that.
Now, have you gone through any trials or any type of initiation in your life, especially in this process that you're going through as a business person and these things?
The biggest trial of having your own business is, the crazy part is, a lot of people work for a corporation and work 40 hours a week and they complain, man, I'm so tired of working 40 hours a week for the big man, right? I just want to have my own. What you don't know is when you own your own business, you actually work about 120 hours a week. They don't understand that. They said, oh man, I can just work like 20 hours and I'll be okay. No, you don't really get a day off. You don't really clock out because it's your business. You basically are on it 24/7. Matter of fact, when you go to bed, you're already thinking of what happened today and how you can better it tomorrow. Your bills tomorrow, right? When you start your Sunday night, your Monday morning, usually for some people, it's the start of work. For you, it's just another day because you own the whole business, and that's the biggest trial, losing people and balancing life, saying I'm blessed, that my dogs love me still, even though I keep them, saying waiting for so long and everything, I'm blessed that, that I don't have, or not yet have a child that, saying that I'm going to miss growing up. But there are important people in my life that I would love to spend time with a lot, But when you have your own business, you basically committed yourself to a 24/7 job. It's more than having 2 jobs at a time. It's your livelihood. It's your baby. It's everything that you put effort to. It's everything you dreamed of from the beginning. So yeah, that's the biggest trial. I've lost so many people in my life that I just basically didn't understand what this lifestyle is. Everybody always think, oh man, Jon Box, he gets a car wash every day, he eats here, saying he's probably just chilling. Every day he's just chilling, he's just on his phone. if I was just chilling, both phones would be off. You know, if I was just chilling, I wouldn't be on social media. That's the biggest difference, you know. A lot of people don't understand that some people work so hard to be seen. I'm actually working really hard to disappear, you know. I want to work hard that my contribution matters so much, makes a difference in people's life, that I'll be able to step back and enjoy life with my loved ones, you know. That I could say, I did my part for the world, you know, and I'm proud of it. And I'm hoping my loved ones are proud of it, and I can spend time with them, you know. That's the most important part. You know, one of my tattoos says carpe diem. That seize the moment, you know. I would never want to be that reason why a relationship with me would be over. But this whole thing, this whole passion for art, this whole passion to help other people, it's a full-time job. It can take over your life, you know. And that's why you always have to give time, make time for your loved ones.
Now, what has been your biggest struggle so far?
Wait, no, I'm just kidding. The biggest struggle, and you know, I don't know when this is gonna air, so it's probably gonna be, it's called fake love. When we first started, we asked for people's help, donations, you know, venues to give us a break, you know. We've bent over backwards to a lot of people, helping them promote, you know, building their establishments, you know, everything, you know, artwork, flyers, all that, you know. Most of them we barely charge, you know. But when it comes for us to ask for help or donations for, you know, our less fortunate brothers and sisters, the homeless people, you know, the kids, it's always, are you a nonprofit? Because I can only donate to nonprofit. I'm like, I have to have profit because I have to run my business. But I rest assure you that your money is going to go to this, that's it, you know. I don't need whatever. I don't need the donation. I don't need, you know, all that, you know, material things, you know. But they do. You know, they could use clean socks, they could use clothes, you know, they could use raincoats, you know. And for years, everybody, it was like pulling two to get us to help them. And then, you know, thank God for, you know, Kevin Flowers and the newspaper people in Go Erie, you know, and they did the article. But I never really wanted that article. You know, that's the thing. I didn't want the focus on me. But some of the close people in me explained that this is a way to get attention to people, that this is a way for people to understand what you're trying to do, you know, and possibly motivate them, and most importantly, possibly motivate them to donate, to help, right? And sure enough, after the article, you know, call here, inbox here, you know, I feel like a pretty lady just posted a half-naked picture with my inbox blowing up, you know. My inbox hasn't been, whew, yeah, I'm kidding. But the crazy part of that is we've been doing it for years and nobody wants to help. But once they see that we got a little shine on, now everybody wants to be a part of it. Now everybody wants to help. The problem with that is some of them have personal agenda. Some of them wants it for recognition that, yeah, I donated, I helped, you know, Jon Box and everything. I'll be honest with you, with this business, it's hard. And people always say, don't trust nobody. You know, even, you know, saying close people to me, say that, you can't just trust anybody, but to be true, that's the truth with this business, you have to make sure that, that you're not getting fake love, because if not, then you're being used, Yeah, they'll donate this much, they'll donate that much, but then put their logos and demand this and everything, and share it like, yeah, look, I donated this and everything like that. I'm not going to be a vessel for you to take advantage of a good deed. I could care less if there's news crew. I could care less if it's in the paper. I could care less if, social media is blowing up about it. When I help people, when I help homeless people, when I do something for the kids, I do it because I want to. Not because somebody said, not because this, not because I need the publicity. No, So when people come up to you only because they read about you in the newspaper, unfortunately, most of them are just for their own intentions and not for the best of what we're doing for the people we're trying to help. So that.
Now, where do you find strength to get through obstacles and struggles and whatnot?
The most important strength that you can find on doing what we do, like with art and hip hop and music and everything, is you find it from the youth, you find it from the kids. When you see the eyes of the kids and you see, how much future, how much, what they're looking forward to, what the president now, what you went through as a kid. Like, once again, I would never wish what I went through as a kid to any kid, For the past 3-4 weeks, I've been spending time with this little girl, and she's like 9 months old, If you look at area alerts or whatever, you look at the world news, this fucking world, this world is a chaos, I wouldn't want that 9-month-old little girl to grow up in this. So if I can do something to make it a better environment, I will. Obviously, I know I can't save the world, but if I can spark that thought on younger generations to continue it, then maybe that little kid, that little girl who's only 9 months old will have a better place to, environment to grow up in. That's the most important part. And then, you always have to have that rock. You always have to have that one person that sees you for who you are. Not for the money, not for the name, not for the fame, not for, your status quo and everything like that. You always have to have that one person that unconditionally is loyal to you, is 100% committed to you, and loves you unconditionally no matter what. Whether you have $100 in your pocket or $1. Whether you come to a place and they all know you or they don't know you, And I've been blessed that I have, that person in my life that, holds me down, And to be honest, that is my motivation. My motivation is that someone is taking their time to make sure that I'm okay when I'm making sure that everyone's okay. Because they said, you always want to think about other people, but who's thinking about you? And for the first time in my life, I can probably honestly say that I do have someone thinking about me. That I do have someone that wants me to be okay. The same way I want the kids to be okay. The same way that I want things to be better for the homeless people. I can come home and say that someone actually cares, like how I care for other people. So that is my motivation.
Now, what do you feel you've gained from all of your efforts?
Headaches. Friends, I've gained a lot of friends, real friends, I've learned a lot from people's lives, you know, the stories and everything. I mean, I'll give you an example. You know, Shy Boogie is, you know, he's considered a Christian rapper. You know, I've never really thought in my whole life that I would be working with one. But this dude is probably one of the hardest worker I've ever seen, you know. And day job, night job, you know, independently doing things, you know. You know, there's, you know, RJ Messenger that had a prestige job, had a job that everybody would kill for, and dropped it, you know, for a dream. You know, Iron Empire is more than an empire. It's a legacy now. I mean, they've only been around for like a couple of years, and I'm so proud of RJ and Jamie, and you know, of just believing that they can do it. You know, those are the people that you learn from. You know, those are, you know, that taking that bold step. You know, that's priceless. That's stuff that you don't just read about. You know, I'm inspired by you know. I know this person that gave up most of her life, you know, most of her childhood to take care of their uncle, you know. And you know, they're two sisters, and they took care of their uncle and basically halt their dreams and aspirations, you know. That's inspiring, you know, because most people just care about their dreams. Most people just care about what to do with their life. These two ladies, they basically put their life on hold and took care of their disabled uncle for like years, you know. If you picture that, who does that? Who puts their life on hold and unconditionally loves the family to take care of them, right? Especially at those age, you know, in your teen years, you know. Most of us just run away, you know, and do what we want, party all night, you know. They basically dedicated most of their years, you know, to care for family. And that's unconditional love, and that's things that you never learn from the books. You don't learn that from school. You learn that from people you meet, you know. You learn that from stories of what they've been through and how strong they are now. That's the difference.
And how do you feel you've been able to help people with what you've learned, with your experience, with from your inspiration from other people?
But being humble, you know, to be honest with you, you know, a lot of people, you know me. I joke around about like, you know, who I am and everything like that. It's self-motivation for me, you know. I don't really believe in myself sometimes, so I have to like tell myself, like, look, you're Jon Box, you know, you can do this, you know. But at my age and what I went through, of the things I've been through in the streets and everything like that, I would think that I know everything in my life to be able to survive whatever I put into. You know, when bullets starts flying, I know what to do. When bombs starts exploding, I know where to go. When you know, earthquakes, I know what to do. Fire, I know what to do. Car accidents, I know what to do, right? But sometimes you learn things from other people, like what if the problem is within your family? What if the problem is deciding on moving on with your life, or staying and caring for your siblings? Those are crazy stuff that, you know, that you never thought was a factor because you never went through it, you know. But for them it is. And that taught me how to be able to share that to people, of being able to prioritize, being able to help yourself and help other people too, and help your loved ones too, you know? That's the factor. That's why you have to share to people. You know, people that did their best but wasn't good enough in a relationship and got physically, mentally abused and got out of it, you know. And I never went through that because I'm pretty tough, you know. I don't think anybody can really beat me up, but I know a lot of ladies that goes through that. And when you try to help someone from a bad relationship and you're a guy, it's really weird because it's weird for them because they know you didn't go through it, so you cannot be passionate about it. You cannot relate, right? But then I have a mother that went through that. I have 2 sisters. I have a cousin that went through that. I have a best friend that I basically had to pull out of that, you know. I know a couple people that died because of that, because they couldn't leave. Because when they left, or somebody helped them to leave, they came back to that environment, you know. And me being able to see that, me being able to help these people, allows me to help people that would go through that. Because let's admit it, it's going to happen again, you know. And you know, same thing with gang, same thing with drug overdose, the same thing with all kinds of crime. It's going to happen again. The only difference is, will you know what to do? And the second difference is, will you be there to help that person because you already know what to do. And all you have to do is tell that person what needs to be done. But here's the crazy part of this. There's the twist to this. You can only help people who want to help themselves, right? So you may know what the solution is, but it's up to them to apply the solution, right? So, but if they don't, you can't do anything. And then you yourself learn from that. That's what it is.
Now, is there anything else you'd like to say? And you told me this, you broke down this elegant theory about boxes, bro, and I will never forget it as long as I live. Now, you can bust that out here if you want, you know, yeah. But if you want to keep that to yourself some other time, you're welcome to it, bro.
The original of the box is basically called Lockbox. Basically, when I was in the streets, I put all my stuff, you know, my passport, my, you know, green card at that time, social security card, IDs and everything. And all I had was one shoebox. Everywhere I went, basically, that was what I had. I put it in a big bag, make sure, garbage bag, make sure it doesn't get wet, because that's the most important stuff. It's my birth certificates there too, so it's everything of who I am. Throughout the time that I was in the streets, there were a couple people that, well, a lot of people that actually helped me. Gave me a couple bucks here, gave me food here, coffee here, and everything. And I would ask them for a business card, and I would put it in a box. And they're like, sometimes they're hesitant because they don't want to be bugged. And I was like, sir, I promise I will not call you. I will not bug you for anything. But can you just please have a card? And some of them would laugh when I say, I just want to send you a thank you card one day. And they'd be like, oh no, that's silly. Save your money. So anyways, I collected like business cards from people that helped me along the way. And then when I finally was able to get my life together, for example, if a lawyer helped me and gave me a cup of coffee, and now I'm on my regular life and I'm talking to you, and you say, man, I'm going through this stuff at work, I need a lawyer. Guess what I'm gonna do? Oh man, I have a lawyer for you. Let me look into this box, right? I just gave that guy that gave me a coffee business. I just helped you get a lawyer that I know had a good heart, right? So the crazy part about that is that that box where my life is, where it stayed right there, has people that I met along the way that didn't only help me, but I know can help other people. So here's the crazy part. So you like your job, right? And you're a carpenter, you know, and then he helped you and everything like that. He's a lawyer, right? But he wants to put an extension or a deck in his house. And he doesn't know anybody. He doesn't really know anybody. He just moved into the area. Guess what? You're a carpenter. So now he just gained someone, you know, from me, from giving me coffee, you know, the best handyman carpenter that can do is, you know, his deck. So that's the crazy part about life. It's as long as you don't burn bridges, as long as you treat everybody with respect, you will get their respect back. You know, that's to me what karma is. You know, what you do unto others jumps back to you. You know, that's what bounces back to you. You know, and that's the factor of life for me. You know, I don't know how it is for others. One thing about the box too, as the brand, is basically, as a Filipino, as a, you know, when we were growing up, there was your race, right? You know, there's a box for Caucasian, there's a box for African American, and then there's a box for Hispanic, right? This is actually a true story. In Stanford, we had a couple of students that actually fought for the other box because we were always other. I'm not white, not black, I'm not Hispanic. So what are you? Unfortunately, the fourth box just says other. And we were like, well, I'm not other. I'm Filipino, I'm Pacific Islander, right? I'm Native American, I'm Asian, you know, Melanesians, you know, all that thing, you know what I'm saying? Middle Eastern, you know, European, right? Because admit it, America is not just built with white and black. It's not white and black anymore. No matter what the media tells you, we all came from different boats. You know, and that's the crazy part about that. And I think, I want to say Malcolm X, something like that. We may have all came from a different boat, but we're on the same boat now. And that's what everybody has to learn, no matter who the president is, right? And the box is basically, we fought for that, to have your own identity, to be your own identity. Because other just doesn't count anymore. I'm not just an other person, right? And the fact of that is, it's like when you look at me and I have tattoos or whatever and anything like that, you say, oh man, this guy, he listens to hip hop, he has tattoos, he must be gangster, right? But you didn't even try to get to know me. You don't even know that I have a college degree. You don't even know that I like listening to jazz. You don't even know that I love Al Green, right? You know, you don't know that, you know, I can listen to any kind of music. You may not even know that I like to read or listen to poets, you know. You don't know, because what you did is when you saw me, you just put a check on the box. You just put, this guy is a thug, and check, that's it. That's not how you deal with people. That's not, you know, I believe that God puts people in your life for a purpose. And if all you do is judge them and not even get to know them, you're wasting the precious gift, which is life. It's crazy. And then you vice versa that to the person. If you just live your life in a box and do not spread your wings out of it, you do not come out of your comfort zone, your life is being wasted. There's so many people right now laying sick, you know, crippled, you know, dealing with cancer that would love to have the help that you have. But what you're doing is just wasting it, sitting on your couch, playing whatever video games and everything, and not making the most out of your life. You have to step out of the box. You have to step out of your comfort zone to know what your purpose in life is. Like I said, I'm antisocial. I get social anxiety. But you've been to my events. 200, 300, 400 people, celebrate area 1,000, middle of it, right? Talk to like 100 people, you know, talking. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone because I see that if I'm out there, I'm able to help people. And just maybe, right? If I step out of my comfort zone to help other people, to send a message, just maybe there's a kid there that also doesn't like being in a crowd, that would understand that if you step out of your box, that you can be anything you want to be, anything. You can be a police officer, you can be a lawyer, you can be a fireman, but you have to step out of the box. You have to step out of your comfort zone, you know, and that's what the brand is. And, you know, and people always say, oh, you know, are you hip hop? Are you this? You know, I don't understand. You know, you're a clothing line, but you do shows and everything. I'm a brand. I'm a lifestyle brand. It's a brand of life. You know, it's not clothing. It's not just socks. It's not just hats. It's a way of life. You know, a brand of life. The brand is basically anything other than nobody. Anything other than other. Just other. You know, you have to have your own identity. You have to follow your dreams. So you don't just get stuck and check the box other for you. You know, and that's what the box is.
See why I'm thinking about doing a longer show, you know? Hey, this is great.